Title: Clash of Titans, The Man of Steel vs. The Shy One. In the heart of Metropolis, the sun dipped low on the horizon, casting long shadows over the city. Clark Kent, known to the world as Superman, hovered above a secluded training ground, his cape fluttering in the gentle breeze. Today was not just another day, it was a day for honing his skills, a day to prepare for the unexpected. With a determined glint in his eye, he focused on the task at hand, mastering the art of combat. As he practiced, Superman envisioned various scenarios, each more challenging than the last. He flew through the air, executing rapid punches and evasive maneuvers, his mind racing with strategies. But little did he know, a new adversary was lurking in the shadows, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Suddenly, a chilling presence filled the air. From the depths of the nearby forest emerged SCP-096, known as the Shy Guy. This tall, emaciated humanoid, with its pale skin and hauntingly elongated limbs, was a creature of nightmares. It was said that once someone laid eyes on its face, it would unleash a fury unlike any other. But today, Superman was not afraid. With a swift motion, Superman descended, ready to confront the creature. As he landed, SCP-096 let out a low growl, its eyes narrowing in a mix of fear and rage. Without hesitation, the Shy Guy lunged forward, its long arms swinging wildly. Superman dodged effortlessly, his speed unmatched, but the creature was relentless. The battle began in earnest. Superman zipped around SCP-096, delivering rapid punches that connected with the creature's frail body. Each blow sent shockwaves through the air, but SCP-096 retaliated with surprising agility, thrashing at Superman's legs with its powerful limbs. The Man of Steel felt the impact, a reminder that even the most formidable foes could inflict damage. Breaking free from the creature's grasp, Superman soared into the sky, gathering his strength. He focused his energy and unleashed a barrage of punches, each one landing with a resounding thud. The Shy Guy staggered under the onslaught, but its regenerative abilities kicked in, allowing it to reform and recover from the blows. Superman, undeterred, decided to escalate the fight. He grabbed SCP-096 by the throat, lifting it off the ground with ease. With a fierce determination, he slammed the creature down, the impact creating a shockwave that rattled the nearby trees. The Shy Guy writhed in pain, but Superman was relentless, delivering powerful punches that echoed through the forest. As the battle raged on, Superman unleashed his heat vision, the crimson beam searing through the air and scorching SCP-96's skin. The creature held in agony, but even as it suffered burns, it continued to regenerate, its skin knitting back together. Not one to back down, Superman followed up with his freezing breath, encasing parts of the Shy Guy in ice, momentarily halting its regeneration. The fight was a brutal display of power and resilience. Superman, the embodiment of hope, was determined to subdue this creature that thrived on fear. With each powerful punch, he shattered the Shy Guy's defenses, fracturing its indestructible skeleton. The once menacing figure was now a mere shadow of its former self, battered and bruised. But as the sun began to set, casting an orange glow over the battlefield, SCP-096 realized it could not withstand any more punishment. With a final, desperate howl, it turned and fled into the depths of the forest, its long limbs carrying it away from the Man of Steel. Superman stood tall, chest heaving, as he watched the creature disappear into the shadows. He had faced many foes, but today had been a test of skill and strategy. As the last rays of sunlight faded, he knew that he had not only mastered his powers but had also proven that even the most fearsome adversaries could be overcome. With a satisfied nod, Superman took to the skies once more, ready to protect Metropolis from whatever challenges lay ahead. The battle was won, but the war for peace and justice would always continue. Title: Clash of Titans, The Shy Guy Showdown. In the heart of Metropolis, the sun hung high in the sky, casting a golden hue over the city. Clark Kent, known to the world as Superman, stood atop a skyscraper, his cape fluttering in the wind. Today was not just another day, it was a day of training, a day to hone his skills for the battles that lay ahead. With a determined glint in his eye, he prepared to face an unusual opponent, SCP-096, the Shy Guy. SCP-096 was a tall, emaciated humanoid with pale skin, known for its shy demeanor and terrifying strength. It was said that if anyone were to see its face, it would go into a rage, attacking relentlessly until its target was eliminated. Clark had heard the stories, and he was ready to test his abilities against this formidable foe. As the training began, Superman took to the skies, flying in intricate patterns, practicing his speed and agility. He envisioned the battle ahead, imagining how he would use his superhuman strength and speed to outmaneuver the Shy Guy. With each pass, he felt more confident, his muscles coiling with power. Suddenly, a chilling presence filled the air. SCP-096 emerged from the shadows, its long limbs stretching as it let out a low, haunting growl. Clark felt a shiver run down his spine, but he quickly shook it off. This was a test, and he was ready. With a burst of speed, Superman dashed toward SCP-096, launching a flurry of punches. The Shy Guy, caught off guard, stumbled back but quickly regained its composure. It retaliated with surprising ferocity, thrashing its long arms at Clark's legs, landing a few solid hits that sent Superman reeling. Not bad, Clark muttered, shaking off the pain. He took to the air, soaring above the creature, and began to strategize. He needed to outsmart SCP-096, not just overpower it. With a swift dive, he aimed a powerful punch at the Shy Guy's torso, sending it crashing to the ground. But SCP-096 was resilient. It rose again, its skin beginning to regenerate from the damage. Clark's eyes narrowed. He had to escalate his tactics. He flew in close, grabbing the creature by its throat, lifting it off the ground. With a mighty roar, he slammed SCP-096 back down, the impact shaking the very foundation of the city. Let's see how you handle this. Superman shouted, unleashing his heat vision. The beams of concentrated energy scorched the Shy Guy's skin, leaving angry red marks. But even as the burn sizzled, SCP-096 continued to regenerate, its eerie persistence unnerving. Clark switched tactics, unleashing his freezing breath. A gust of icy wind enveloped SCP-096, encasing its limbs in frost. For a moment, it seemed as if the creature would be immobilized, but it shattered the ice with a furious roar, its white skin glistening in the sunlight. Superman, undeterred, pressed the attack. He delivered a series of powerful punches, each one landing with a resounding thud. The Shy Guy staggered, its skeletal frame creaking under the onslaught. Clark could feel the bones fracturing beneath his fists, and he knew he was gaining the upper hand. But SCP-096 was not finished yet. With a sudden burst of energy, it lunged at Superman, its long arms swinging wildly. Clark dodged, but one of the strikes caught him off guard, sending him crashing into a nearby building. Dust and debris filled the air as he struggled to regain his footing. Impressive, Clark admitted, brushing himself off. But it's time to end this. With renewed determination, he took to the skies once more, gathering his strength. He flew high above the city, then dove down like a comet, channeling all his power into one final punch. The impact was monumental, sending shockwaves through the ground as SCP-096 was sent sprawling. As the dust settled, Clark stood over the defeated creature, breathing heavily. SCP-096, battered and bruised, looked up at him with a mix of fear and defiance. But it was clear that the fight had left it weakened. With a final, anguished cry, the shy guy turned and fled, retreating into the shadows from whence it came. Superman watched as the creature disappeared, a sense of accomplishment washing over him. He had faced a unique challenge today, one that tested not just his strength but his resolve. As he soared back into the sky, he knew that he had mastered another facet of his powers, ready for whatever challenges awaited him in the future. In the world of heroes and monsters, every battle was a lesson, and today, Clark Kent had learned that even the shyest of foes could unleash a storm. Title: Clash of Titans, The Shy Guy Showdown. In the heart of Metropolis, the sun hung high in the sky, casting a golden hue over the city. Clark Kent, known to the world as Superman, hovered above a secluded training ground, his cape fluttering in the wind. Today was not just another day, it was a day of mastery. He had spent countless hours honing his skills, pushing the limits of his extraordinary powers. With each punch, each flight maneuver, he sought to perfect his combat techniques, preparing for any threat that might arise. But today, a new challenge awaited him. Emerging from the shadows of an abandoned warehouse was a figure that sent shivers down the spine of even the bravest souls, SCP-096, the Shy Guy. Tall and emaciated, with skin as pale as moonlight, he was a creature of nightmares, known for his unpredictable rage when his face was seen. Clark had heard whispers of this entity, and now, he was ready to confront it. As the two faced off, the air crackled with tension. Superman, with his piercing blue eyes, locked onto the Shy Guy, who stood eerily still, his head bowed. Without warning, Clark launched himself into the air, a blur of red and blue, darting around the creature with incredible speed. He unleashed a flurry of punches, each one landing with a resounding thud against SCP-96's frail body. But the Shy Guy was not without his defenses. With a sudden burst of energy, he lashed out, his long, spindly arms striking Clark's legs with surprising force. The impact sent Superman staggering back, momentarily caught off guard. The creature's strength was deceptive, and Clark quickly realized that this battle would not be as straightforward as he had anticipated. Regaining his composure, Superman shot forward, his fists glowing with power. He delivered a series of devastating blows, each punch echoing like thunder. The Shy Guy reeled from the onslaught, but his regenerative abilities kicked in, allowing him to reform and recover from the damage. Clark's laser vision ignited, searing through the air as he aimed for the creature's skin, leaving charred marks in its wake. SCP-096 held in rage, its voice a haunting wail that reverberated through the battlefield. It lunged at Superman, thrashing wildly, but Clark was quicker. He soared above, using his freeze breath to encase the Shy Guy in a layer of ice, momentarily immobilizing him. The sight of the creature, frozen and vulnerable, was a rare victory for the Man of Steel. But the Shy Guy was relentless. With a shattering crack, the ice began to splinter, and SCP-096 broke free, its skin reforming even as it sustained injuries. Superman, undeterred, pressed the attack. He grabbed the creature by its throat, lifting it off the ground, and slammed it down with a force that shook the earth beneath them. The impact sent shockwaves through the area, and for a moment, it seemed as if victory was within reach. Yet, SCP-096 was not finished. With a surge of fury, it retaliated, its skeletal frame twisting and thrashing as it fought against Superman's grip. Clark felt the strain as the creature's strength tested his own. But he was the Man of Steel, and he would not be bested. With a powerful punch, he struck the Shy Guy's jaw, the sound echoing like a cannon blast. Fractures spread through the creature's indestructible skeleton, and for the first time, SCP-096 faltered. As the battle raged on, Superman unleashed a final barrage of attacks, punches, laser beams, and freezing breath all converging on the Shy Guy. The creature, battered and bruised, began to retreat, its once menacing presence now diminished. With a final, desperate howl, SCP-096 turned and fled into the shadows, disappearing from sight. Superman stood tall, chest heaving, the adrenaline of battle coursing through him. He had faced a formidable foe and emerged victorious, but he knew that the Shy Guy would not be gone forever. In the world of heroes and monsters, the fight was never truly over. As he soared into the sky, the sun setting behind him, Clark Kent vowed to remain vigilant, ready for whatever challenges lay ahead. Title: Clash of Titans, The Shy Guy Showdown. In the heart of Metropolis, the sun hung high in the sky, casting a golden hue over the city. Clark Kent, known to the world as Superman, hovered above a secluded training ground, his cape fluttering in the gentle breeze. Today was not just another day, it was a day of mastery. He had spent countless hours honing his skills, perfecting the art of combat, and preparing for any threat that might arise. As he practiced his aerial maneuvers, a sudden chill swept through the air, and the atmosphere shifted. From the shadows emerged a figure, tall and gaunt, with skin as pale as moonlight. This was SCP-096, known as the Shy Guy, a creature whose very presence instilled dread. With its hauntingly elongated limbs and a face obscured by a veil of shyness, SCP-096 was a being that few dared to confront. Superman landed gracefully, his eyes narrowing as he assessed the creature before him. "I don't want to hurt you," he said, his voice steady. "But I can't let you roam free." SCP-096, however, had no intention of retreating. With a sudden, jerky motion, it lunged at Superman, its long arms swinging wildly. Clark dodged effortlessly, his speed a blur as he zipped around the creature, delivering quick jabs to its sides. But SCP-096 was relentless, its long limbs thrashing out, catching Superman off guard and sending him tumbling to the ground. "Not bad," Superman muttered, shaking off the impact. He quickly regained his footing, his resolve hardening. But it's going to take more than that. With a powerful leap, Superman soared into the sky, gathering momentum before diving back down like a comet. He aimed a devastating punch at SCP-096, connecting with a force that echoed through the air. The creature staggered but quickly recovered, its skin beginning to regenerate from the damage. "Impressive," Superman acknowledged, his eyes glowing red as he unleashed a beam of heat vision. The searing rays struck SCP-096, causing patches of its white skin to blister and burn. Yet, even as the creature writhed in pain, it continued to reform, its resilience unnerving. Superman's breath caught in his throat as he unleashed his freezing breath, encasing SCP-96's legs in a thick layer of ice. The creature let out a low growl, thrashing against its icy prison, but Superman was relentless. He charged forward, grabbing SCP-096 by the throat, lifting it off the ground with ease. Enough games, he declared, slamming the creature down with a force that shook the earth. Dust and debris flew into the air as Superman continued his assault, delivering a flurry of punches that echoed like thunder. Each blow landed with precision, targeting the creature's skeletal frame, causing cracks to form and bones to splinter. SCP-096 fought back, its long arms flailing, but Superman was a whirlwind of power and skill. He dodged the wild strikes, countering with calculated attacks that left the creature reeling. The shy guy was becoming a mere punching bag, its once menacing presence now reduced to desperation. As the battle raged on, SCP-96's regenerative abilities began to falter under the relentless onslaught. Superman, sensing victory, prepared for one final strike. He gathered all his strength, his fist glowing with energy, and unleashed a punch that connected with SCP-96's chest, sending shockwaves through the air. The creature let out a haunting wail, its form crumpling under the force. With a final surge of energy, SCP-096 turned and fled, its long limbs carrying it away from the battlefield, retreating into the shadows from whence it came. Superman stood tall, chest heaving, as he watched the creature disappear. You may run, but I'll always be here to protect the city, he vowed, his voice echoing in the stillness. With the sun setting behind him, casting a warm glow over Metropolis, Superman took to the skies once more, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Today, he had proven not only his strength but also his unwavering commitment to justice. And as he soared into the horizon, the world knew that as long as Superman was around, hope would never fade.